Okay, thank you very much, Andrea. Thanks, Kerstin, for your parts. I will deep dive into the solutions for the carbonizing logistics hubs. In fact, the issue of understanding what type of measures companies have implemented or plan to implement for the near future has been one of the key points, again, for our market study. Our sample include warehouses, but also transshipment sites and sites that both handle storage and transshipment. We focused on 6 main areas of intervention. As you can see in this slide: green building and yard, utilities, lighting, materials management, material handling and automation, and finally operational practices. And for those, let's say, 6 main clusters, we specifically examined 31 measures for decarbonizing logistics sites. Next slides, please. Just an overview of our results. If we consider all the 6 main clusters I was mentioning before, materials management, lighting, and operational practices have been found as the major areas of intervention. If we look at the current, so the already implemented measures, we have materials management and lighting at the forefront, whereas if we focus on those measures that have been prioritized as high or medium, then the attention goes towards material management and operational practices. Then we moved forward and we specifically performed a devoted investigation for each of all those 6 areas. Let's start with the green building and yard. Looking at the measures already implemented, we note that thermal insulation has been the main focus, both on the building shell, so thermal insulation of the building, but also on the loading docks. Whereas more innovative solutions such as cool roof and green roof are still very little widespread, although and they have prioritized, especially cool roof, as high or medium for the near future. Let's move to the second cluster, which is utilities. In this sense, we have found a specific interest towards photovoltaic panels together with, so combined with smart HVAC systems, so respectively in 72 sites and 4 sites. It is interesting to note that for the future, companies have declared a specific interest towards smart metering, and this is interesting because it highlights the need for measuring as a base for improving, so for future interventions. Let's move then to lighting systems. From this perspective, we have a wide adoption of LED lighting system, very often combined with sensors for reducing consumption, so dimming or on-off systems. And these are often combined with more, let's say, conventional solutions, such as the use of natural lighting and white walls, so for improving working conditions within logistics sites. For the future, no clear solutions emerge, but the interest is widespread, I would say, among the different measures highlighted. Let's move again to the next area, which is material handling and automation. In this sense, we identified a marked interest toward forklifts, both from the viewpoint of adoption of lithium-ion batteries, but also from the viewpoint of recharging operations, so high-frequency battery charging, and also different type of fuel, so the hybrid forklifts, for instance. Whereas for the future, we have highlighted high priority also for the future for the adoption of lithium-ion batteries. Let's move to the other area, which is operational practices. And in this, from this perspective, we highlighted a marked interest towards all the measures aiming at improving process optimization. I would say 2 points of attention. On the one hand, we have the optimization of the location for the charging equipment, and on the other hand side, we have a focus on the scheduling of material handling equipment recharging operations. It is finally very important to note that a specific attention has been paid on energy efficient behavior, not only in terms of implemented solutions, but mostly in terms of future interventions, so priorities for the future. And this comes with, I would say, an interest and a rising awareness that it is not that important to focus on one specific solution only, but there is the need of a more holistic strategic approach that of course matches operational practices with all the measures belonging to the different clusters, all aiming to, I would say, a combined energy efficiency improvement. Let's then move to the final element, which is materials management. In this perspective, we have highlighted a specific work and attention towards the packaging materials being used with two main strategies. On the one hand, the adoption of, let's say, more sustainable materials involving, for instance, local sourcing, but also the use of bio-based materials or renewable materials. And on the other hand side, we have also highlighted an attention that companies have put in place towards the processes. So working on the processes of managing materials in terms of packaging reduction, but also enhancing reuse or even recycling. Okay. Next slide, please. So let's just summarize what we have seen so far in terms of measures for decarbonizing logistics hubs. As we highlighted before, the focus is mainly on lighting, material handling, material management, operational practices, not only for current adoption, but also as a priority for future intervention. Focusing on lighting systems, we have highlighted an interest toward LED lighting, often coupled with sensors for reducing energy consumptions. Focusing on materials management, the main intervention were all improvement in terms of materials, but also more efficient processes. And finally, to conclude, when discussing operational practices, we have highlighted a focus on material handling optimization, but then, as I was discussing before, a very strong marked interest for the future in terms of energy efficient behavior. And from that perspective, I would like to conclude by recalling some of the elements we have discussed before with Kerstin and also Andrea, underlining the need for keep monitoring and keep collecting data, because a key point is also the possibility to study the history of the building in terms of longitudinal analysis and studying how this type of measures being implemented can actually impact in terms of consumption and related emissions of the building. Thank you very much for your attention.